Hi everybody, my name is Alyssa and I'm an education specialist here at the Grace Company. Congrats on the recent purchase of your new Q'nique15 sewing machine. I'm so excited to walk you through a little bit of what you can expect when you receive this exciting new machine and what you need to do to get quilting on it. So when you first receive your machine in the mail, it's going to look a lot like this. It will be in one box and it's going to weigh about 53 pounds. So make sure you have some help bringing it in because you're definitely going to need it. One important note to remember, don't throw the box or the styrofoam inserts that came with it away. You'll want to hang on to these because if you need to send your machine back to us for repair or return, it'll need to be shipped in that box. It can't be shipped in any other box. So hang on to it because the boxes are kind of expensive. So here you can see the entire contents of the box. So I'm going to talk a little bit about each item. In this packet, you have your manual, registration card, and a few other helpful resources. You're going to want to make sure to open this up probably as the first thing you do to avoid any future complications or confusion. First off, one of the first things you'll want to do is fill out this registration card and mail it to the Grace Company or call us. You'll want to get this registered so that it's warranted, which will be super helpful going forward into the future. Take a moment to read through the parts list included in your owner's manual to make sure that everything included on the list was actually included in the box. If you're missing anything, you can contact the Grace Company online or by email or by phone. Take a moment as well to read through the inserts that are also included. There's important update information as well as some important reference information that's included with your machine. You'll want to be familiar with it. As well as the manual and the inserts and the registration card, you're going to find other helpful information included with your new machine. Let's take a minute and look at all of these. First, you're going to find a thread mast. You're going to want to hang on to this because it's going to be very important when it comes time to thread your machine. We also have 5 boxes that are included with your machine. This is the display. This goes on the front of your machine and it allows you to select the mode that you're going to be quilting in, as well as a few other important settings. A little bit later, we'll take a minute and set it all up so that you can see what it looks like on the machine. There's also a box of tools that's included with your machine. Everything that you need to set up your machine should be included in this little box. Let's see what's here. There's some wrenches, screwdrivers, brushes, extra bobbins, all that good stuff. We're going to unpack this later when we get the machine set up. Box 3 has your encoders. These are very important, so you won't want to lose them. These allow you your stitch regulation to sense how quickly your machine is moving and how quickly it should adjust its speed and stitch length to keep up with the speed that you're moving your machine. Box 4 has your hardware. This is all of your cords and an oil bottle, all of those good things. Box 5 is my favorite box, and it has your sample thread kit. With your machine, you get some sample threads. You'll find 2 pre-wound bobbins, as well as 1 variegated color. This may not be the color that you receive, but you will receive at least 1 finesse variegated colored thread. You'll receive another solid colored thread. This one appears to be white. You'll also receive some Wonderfill thread that's solid and some Wonderfill variegated thread as well. Now that we've unboxed everything, let's take a look at how all of it fits together on a machine on a frame. So as you can see here, I've set everything that came with my machine up on it, and then I've gone ahead and set the machine onto a hoop frame here. So you can see here we went ahead and installed the thread mast. We got the display screen on just fine. We got a hopping foot, encoders. Everything's all hooked up. Now, before you start sewing, there's a couple important things you're going to want to look at just for your best quilting experience. First, you'll want to make sure that the back has everything plugged in the correct place. You'll want to make sure that each encoder is plugged into its correct port. The encoders are color-coded, so that makes it really easy. Make sure it's plugged in, turned on, make sure it's threaded correctly, and then you'll want to come around front to the display screen, make sure that it was plugged in correctly and that it's lit up. If it's not lit up, then you're not ready to start quilting yet. So we got everything assembled onto the machine, got the machine onto a frame in less than 30 minutes, so it's pretty fast and convenient. So here on the home screen of the display, we can see what mode the machine is in. In this case, it's in Regulate Precise mode. Regulate Precise mode is where the machine motor adjusts to create even, consistent stitches no matter how fast you're going. We also have something here on this display screen that says SPI. SPI stands for stitches per inch. The higher the number is on your SPI, the shorter your stitches will become. So if we set that to 13 or 14, the stitches are going to be really, really tiny. But if we keep it at 10 or even go lower to something like 6 or 5, they're going to become much longer, almost like a base stitch. To change the SPI, you'll use the two buttons on the right handle, the small round ones, to increase or decrease that. The top button is basically the plus button. It increases your SPI, and the bottom button is the minus button. It decreases your SPI. Let me show you. So if we hit the increase button 3 times, our SPI just went up to 13. If we decrease it by 3, our SPI is now 10. You also see start and needle up. To bring the needle up or to bring the needle down, you'll use the large oval button here on the left handle. So we just brought the needle up. We can put it back down. Now, if we want to start quilting, if we want to tell the machine to go, the equivalent of stepping on a sewing machine's pedal, we'll hit this large oval button on the right handle. So just remember, left is needle up, needle down. Right is go or stop. And it's important that you hit the button when you want to go and when you want to stop. It won't just stop sewing automatically. You have to tell it to. So I'm going to start by bringing the needle down into the fabric and then back up. This will pull the bobbin thread back up into the top thread so that it doesn't catch on anything. Now I'm going to press on the start button on the right handle. And then when I want to stop, I'm going to hit that button again. And it stops. When you're quilting, it's important that you remember which button is which. If you get it mixed up a few times, that's totally fine. I totally recommend using a piece of scrap fabric to test this out with so that you can get used to which button is which, so that you're not hitting this button desperately when you want to start or stop. If you want to change the settings, go into the main menu screen. To do that, you'll want to push on either one of the small round buttons on the left handle. So now you can see the screen here on the display changed. We're in the main menu screen. To navigate this one, you'll want to use the small round buttons on the right handle. Remember, these are our decrease, increase buttons, so we can use them to navigate in this screen. So if I want to change from precise regulated mode to cruise mode, I would navigate until the little blue shadows cruise. Then I know it's in cruise mode. Then I'd go ahead and hit the large start button to tell it that that's what I want to go ahead and input it. It's going to take us back to that home menu. And I can see up here at the very top, it's changed from regulate precise to regulate cruise. It's very much like precise. It will tailor the stitches to stay the same size no matter how fast you move the machine. The only difference between the two is what the needle does when you stop. So if I'm sewing along on precise mode and I stop the machine, not press the stop button, but just stop moving it, the needle's going to stop. If I'm in cruise mode and I'm moving along and then stop the machine, the needle's going to just kind of idle in place. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to go ahead and start. Right now I'm in cruise mode. You notice the needle, even though my hands aren't moving and the machine isn't moving, the needle continues to idle up and down. Let's see what it does when we put it into precise mode. Now it's in precise mode. I'm going to go ahead and start it again. I'm not moving it, and the needle is staying in place. But as soon as I move it, even if it's just a little, the needle will start going again. Another thing you can find in this main menu is baste. Let's see what that stitch looks like. You can see the based stitches are long and very even, and it stitches very differently from cruise or precise because it just does slow, punchy stitches as quickly as I move the machine. But it kind of moves itself forward just a little bit at a time to get that long based stitch. One other setting I'd like to show you is the manual setting. The manual setting is really unique because it allows the machine to space your stitches and size them based on how fast you're moving the machine. Let me show you. It's now in manual mode, as we can see on the display screen. So I'm going to go ahead and start the machine up. The faster I move the machine, the longer my stitches become. So right now I'm moving it very slowly, and the stitches are pretty small. If we speed it up, it can become much longer. So there you have the 3 different modes that this sewing machine can work in. Another thing we can access are some tools. These are really helpful for diagnosing issues, fine-tuning issues, and so on. I'm not going to go into detail on what these do today, but if you want to read through your user's manual, it talks a little bit more about when you would use these things. I want to mention a couple of accessories that we sell that might maximize your experience using your new Q'nique15 sewing machine. The first one is our luminescent light bars. These can be expanded or retracted to fit any size of workstation. And they bring a soft, bright light to your workstation so that you can clearly see whatever you're doing, no matter what time of day it is or what kind of lit room you're in. It's definitely a game changer. The second one is our QCT automation. It brings unique features, skills, and abilities to your quilting game that will maximize your experience no matter what machine you're using. I would recommend it to any quilter who's looking to increase the patterns that they can quilt as well as their skill level. For additional resources or support with any Grace product, feel free to reach out to us on social or visit our site. You can message us there in our instant chat, send us an email, or give us a call. We're glad to help and we're here for you. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial today. I know I've enjoyed showing you the features and the unboxing of the Q'nique15 sewing machine. I hope that you're looking forward to receiving and using yours, and happy quilting!